Israel, oh Israel, why are some of your leaders black and white on some matters, but then allow, gray on some others? They push the narrative that there is no exception, but then on other matters they use exceptions. It's just a matter of, who the person is and what they're dealing. You see it so often though. They say, oh, women should not wear men's clothes. When the text in itself is talking about army apparel, war apparel, it talks about weaponry as well as, basically armor. But yet they say, oh, women shouldn't wear men clothes. In the same text, they try to pull out and say, oh, pants. It gives a description of thigh-high undergarments. Basically knickers or culottes or, shorts. But you would see the person basically say, oh, you can't wear pants. But in that very same text that they pulled that out of, it speaks of the man wearing a bonnet or wearing a girdle. But they don't try to say that only men can wear bonnets and girdles. They speak against men wearing bonnets and girdles because they say, oh, that's not masculine. But yet Aaron had a bonnet and he had a girdle on. His sons had bonnets and girdles on. So they cherry pick and they basically go for the gray area. Because they firm on saying you can't wear pants. But yet they say nothing about that same verse saying about the bonnet and girdles. The same verse that they say that you shouldn't multiply wives. That same verse is speaking on the king basically not multiplying gold. But we know the streets in the Shamayim are supposed to be of gold. So it's nothing wrong with having gold. But it was basically dealing with greed. But people want to cherry pick it and be absolute and say, okay, you can't multiply women. But they don't say that same thing in that same verse that says multiply horses. But knowing a king going to have an army, he's going to have horses and chariots. He's going to have a multitude of those. But they won't bring that into the discussion because they want to really speak only on the wives because they have an agenda. They don't want to hit that black and white when it comes to the horses and the gold, but they want, the gray area on that, but they want black and white when it comes to multiplying the wives. There's so many texts that people cherry pick and they take it and make it into what they want it to be. So it fits their narrative. It fits what they're pushing at the moment. It's so many things. You see the people that's non-meat eaters. So of course they push the narrative, and try to make it that, oh man, in the beginning, they only ate vegetables. But in the beginning, they were nude too. They didn't have any clothes. So how you going to say we're going to go back to what Adam and Eve were originally doing, what the original plan was, but yet you don't want to go to the original plan when it comes to the dress and the clothing that they were wearing, which they didn't have any. You want to have a partial part of the narrative. You want to make exceptions to the rules because it fits and suits your doctrine. You're pushing a narrative. And you're very aggressive and manipulative. Very manipulative. Because you want what you want. You want to push it on people and force and impose your will on them. And not allow what Yah is saying to them to have evidence and manifest in their life. And bear fruit. It's what you say. Oh, your narrative, what you want to push. Hey, you want to go back? Oh, there were no cars. So what? Get out your car. Get out of that. What you doing? Why you riding in the car? Get on your feet. Walk. They walked. No, you don't want to go back to the beginning. You only want to cherry pick and pick and choose what you want from the beginning. You want to make it fit what you want other people to do. Stop playing. You want to make gray areas. You want to do what you want to do, and then you want to impose it on others. The exception, I know, is never the rule, but you cannot ignore the exception. Oh, I don't know, ain't no woman supposed to teach. But it tells Brit Hadashah that some people sometimes take some of it and then they don't take any. It tells the elder women to teach the younger. So it ain't telling them not to teach. It's telling them who they shouldn't lead over. But people want to make a narrative fit for all occasions when it doesn't. Knowing good and well that women are supposed to teach children. But you say, no, don't teach. You want her to be silent. How you going to court a woman that's silent? How you going to know what she desires, what she wants? How you going to know how to please her or tend to her? Oh, but no, you want a slave. You don't want somebody to express, their needs. She hungry, but she can't talk to you. She's thirsty. She can't talk to you. She needs protection. No, she can't talk to you. You only want it the way that you want it. This ain't Burger King, though. You can't have it your way. Y'all be playing. Y'all be seriously playing and wanting to take the text and make it be what y'all want it to be. And then when somebody challenges you and asks you questions and stuff, you don't want to think. You want to basically say, but that's not what the scriptures say. Well, what does it say? And why does it say it? If you can't take in any women of other nations, who was Rahab? Was she of another nation? How is she Boaz's mother? And how is Boaz in the line of David? If that was something that should not have happened, how do we make that a just situation? How do we erase that? Cherry pick. That's how. What about the Rechabites in Jeremiah? The ones who honored their father and would not take a drink, they would not do anything against their father's will during the time that Israel, as well as Yahudims, they would not listen to Yah. So Yah said, okay, if these people honor their father, I want one of them always with my people. Because they can honor their father, they'll be a great example to my people. And I never want to. He said the kingdom will never lack a Rechabite, but y'all don't want to deal with that. Y'all only want to say that the Israelites, the only ones that has Yah favors. But the Rechabites have Yah's favor. It's right there in the text. But you want to eliminate that, act like it ain't there. It's there. It's there. I had a guy, basically Ashkenazi today, try to challenge me and try to tell me that Zipporah was a Hamite. When it says Jethro, clearly it says Jethro is a Midianite. And anybody who read through it sees that Abraham married Keturah and had a son named Midian. So Jethro is his descendant. That means that Zipporah is what? A Midianite. Thus a descendant of Abraham. And most people that read Adoniah was married to Moshe when he was the king of Ethiopia. But he didn't lay with that woman. Not once. He didn't lay with that woman. So yes, he had an Ethiopian wife. He had a Hamitic wife, but he never laid with her, not once. But people they want to omit what they want to omit. Talk about text and say, oh, it's in the text. Well, share it. Where that text at? That speaks on it differently. But I get it. You have to make melanin people into Hamitic people. That's what they've been doing That's what they've been doing all through Christianity. Trying to make us Hamitic so that we could be separated from our birthright. We're Israel. They don't want us to be Israel. They don't want us to be Israel because then they can steal our birthright. Revelations 2:9, 3:9. Yes, those that have said it, they're rich. I can't say it exactly, but them people that imposters, they want to claim our birthright. They want to claim our names. They want to be us, and they're not. And there ain't no reason to hate them. They could be redeemed. But the problem is, though, they have lack of humility. They won't operate in humility and admit that we are the people. They won't give up our birthright back to us. They want to be the head so bad that they will lie to keep us in the position of tail. But it's going to turn around. All right, I just got through coming from working out. I need to get the sweat off of me. But hallelujah. Hallelujah. Shalom.